Issue 225. With Sonic in his air bubble in the mouth of a giant fish full of teeth, he's found the floating island sunken in the water and warns him not to spin attack the force field. This was right when he had already done so. Sonic spin dashes into a wall that's a sort of bullseye and realizes that his radio link and the shields of Angel Island are damaged. He wanders around in a dark tunnel complaining about not having any signposts up to give him a guide, and he briefly has a moment of humility by insulting himself for breaking the force field and risking drowning himself later. Then he gets snuck up on by robots with glowing red eyes in the dark. Porker says Sonic only has 10 minutes left. This is definitely a lot more exciting than the previous story. Ebony gets an idea to shoot a bubble of the power of the Dracons down to the floating island to save Sonic, ignoring Porker's warnings about what might happen if Sonic turns super. Sonic complains about the guard robots targeting him when he's one of the good guys, and evades his laser. He finds the Chaos Chamber and makes a plan to use the control panel to bring the island back up to the surface, and briefly complains that he never thought he'd want a radio link with Porker. What a great friend. Porker is the nicest of the freedom fighters. He gets snuck up on by a robot calling him an intruder, and spin dashes all around the place singing musically, "Now remember, when Knuckles asked, it was like this when I got here." Then he hears a high-pitched sound that apparently sounds like an alarm, when the words spelling out its sound effect made me expect someone screaming instead, and he notices a red ball of chaos power from Ebony, which surprisingly frees Tikal. When he asks why she's in the present, she fortunately explains that when the Echidnas defeated Chaos, she was trapped along with it. She lampshades that she really shouldn't still be sane after all that, and she reveals that when Sonic battled Chaos, she had transferred her soul into Sonic to escape. Sonic realizes that the peaceful presence he had felt as Super Sonic was Tikal all along. And as Sonic warns Tikal that he could go super any minute now, he gets hit with electric chaos energy by the guard robots who I guess don't speak English despite them saying it because you'd think they'd know better after hearing him say this. In the next story, we see Tails in an abandoned warehouse in the Metropolis Harbor District with a flashlight looking for Fang. He then finds a bomb with a surprise note from him and explodes, killing him horribly as it destroys the whole house. Nah, just kidding, I'm sure Tails will be fine. The police find a fake doll of Fang, and Fang flies away in his flying machine, boasting that Tails should be toast by now and he eluded his true target just fine. Then we see Tails climbing out of the water saying that he somehow survived after almost getting blown up. How'd he make it? He flies after Fang, who tries to shoot at him again, calling him a two-tailed freak, which I love since it's realistic and I'd expect that of a villain. Logically, all the villains should call him that. Tails hits Fang on the head and he's told that their weight is pulling the flying machine down towards the river. He pushes Tails out of it and then says transparently that he's totally defeated since there's no way he'll be able to change the course of his own flying machine. It falls into the river and Tails doubts that he could have survived for the most part, despite Fang's smug dismissal of that in sarcasm earlier. After Tails is briefly shown on camera as the hero who stopped Fang, we see that Fang was watching the news at the time and is plotting against Tails. So Tails totally failed. In this issue by Ed Reynolds, in the first story, we see Sonic get chased by guard robots after a spin dash damages the force field keeping air in the underwater floating island. It's really nice to see a concept like Anti-Angel Island was being used again in a different comic. Then after Ebony sends some chaos energy at him to try to save him, Tikal's spirit frees herself from Sonic, I guess because of that, and explains that she had gone into him after being sealed in chaos. But yeah, why did she remain sane? If she was conscious for all of that time, post-traumatic stress disorder wouldn't even begin to cover that. It would be fine if she was unconscious the whole time, like would be merciful. And Sonic's on the verge of turning super just from being near chaos energy from Ebony at all, adding even more tension to the already huge threat of him drowning in 10 minutes. It's stories like this that are exciting. And the Tails story has Tails get lured to a house with a bomb in it by a decoy doll of Fang, and somehow Tails survives when it explodes, climbing out of a pool completely unharmed. But Fang fakes his death when Tails' weight seems to pull his flying machine towards the river. I'm sure Fang just swam to an underwater base or something, as he's perfectly fine later on. It was interesting to see the way he talked to Tails like a bully, and I love seeing how creative and clever his plan was with the decoy. Tails is definitely a sympathetic hero that you want to root for here, being a cute, determined kid who suffers some setbacks and keeps on going.